Grand rising to everyone, to you, and you. You know what to do. Tag and share and tag, tag and share and tag. I am so excited and feel privileged, as always, to be with you here on today. Tag, share, tweet, whatever method you use it today so that we can bring a couple of more people, I should say, into this digital space with us. It is such a wonderful day, and that's what I'm doing. I'm doing what I'm suggesting that you do. I'm tagging a few folks. I'm sharing it with a few people. Grand Rising, or whatever time of day it is you're watching me, thank you for tuning in to Spiritual Awakening. I am Dr. A.G. Green Sr., and we're going to give people a few more moments so that they can come in. I'm so glad to be with you again on this particular day. Don't forget to speak as you come in. And of course, tag and share. Let's see if we can put it up in the scrolling ticker or on the scrolling ticker to remind people as they come into this digital conclave, this gathering of spirits. And you are a powerful, powerful spirit. But in this gathering of spirits, that they'll be reminded to tag and share. Let's see, where is that graphic at? So excited. And of course, more than anything, I have the honor and distinct privilege of being with you here on today. And it is such a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful blessing to be with you here. Tag and share and tag. Tag and share and tag. Tag and share and tag. Almighty, we thank you for this opportunity. We submit our will completely to you, our ways, our desires, our whole being. We thank you right now for what has been birthed in us, what you will confirm in us today, what is activated in us today. We thank you for this endless empowerment. And we also thank you for endless confirmations and endless manifestation. You're leading us and guiding us into truth, and we're sharing that truth with others, that you might be glorified and that we might operate in this world as you've designed for us to be. We bless you and thank you in Yeshua's name, by his way, his power, and consciousness. It is so, and so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to you and to you and to you who's tuning in here on today. Tag and share and tag. Tag and share and tag. That's it. Grand rising to all of you. Let me know if you can see and hear me well. Oh, I need to turn the volume up. My apologies. You ought to be able to hear me better now. My apologies. Let me know if you can see and hear me well. Let me know if you can see and hear me well. I always like to remind you that according to Philippians chapter 4, that through the Christos, through the anointed one, through the Christ mind, through Christ consciousness, I can do all things. I want you to type it in the comment section. I can. I can. I can master my mind, will, and emotions. I can. I can operate as a powerful spiritual species in this earth. I can. I can impact the reality of life that I'm living right now. I can. I can overcome. I can endure. Yes, I can. I want you to type in the comment section vigorously with energy. I can. I can. I can. I can. I can. You have to remind yourself that I can. Some days appear to be more challenging than others. And you have to tell yourself, that I can. I hope you're hearing me today. There are times where the opposite of that presents itself to your mind, and there are times that circumstances appear to be so contrary to that in which you are trying to accomplish and that in which you want to do or to be in this world. But I want you to know that I can. The next thing I always like to remind you all of is that you are the offspring of a ubiquitous, almighty, omnipotent being. The real you is spirit. You are a spiritual species, I believe, of a God class. Therefore, I am powerful. I want you to type it in the comment section. I am powerful. And you know what I want you to do? I want you to speak it out loud. I want you to vocalize it. I want you to release it atmospherically. I want you to decree it atmospherically. I am powerful. Come on, type it in the comment section. I am powerful. Type, I am powerful. And then I want you to speak wherever it is you are that I am powerful. Ooh, I am powerful. Yes, I am powerful. Yes, I am powerful. Yes, I am powerful. Yes, I am powerful. 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 Come on, speak it out loud. I am powerful. Think about a particular circumstance or situation that appears to have popped up in your reality that you want to dominate, but it appears to be trying to dominate you. Just speak to it. I am powerful. Just speak to it. I am powerful. That's right. There's something about when you speak something. There's something about the universe needing to hear you speak. There's something about on the quantum level, those particles needing to hear you speaking. And there's something about you hearing your own self speaking. I am powerful. Yes, I am. I know that I am. And I own the power. I own the power. Tag and share, family. Share and tag as you come in this wonderful, wonderful place today. Again, I always like to remind you of how dynamic and magnificent that you are. And let me say this to you. There's always a motive behind what I do. As somebody coined the phrase years and years and years ago, there's a method to my madness. You are great by permission from God. You are powerful by permission of the Almighty. I'm going to say it again. You are powerful by permission of the Almighty. Now, in religious circles, people trip over themselves because, again, they have been taught that I got to say God does this, like he does everything. And I've taught you, you are the offspring of the Almighty. There, you are creating your own realities with the permission of the Almighty. You are showing up in the world as you believe. Your thoughts and your thoughts from your divinity in partnership with the universe and an Almighty God, all in that mixture is responsible for reality, not solely the Almighty. It's nothing outside of you. It's what's inside of you. I want you to type it in the comment section. I live from the inside out. Type that in the comment section. I live from the inside out. Type in the comment section. I live from the inside out. Too many people trying to live from the outside in. The concept of God that people typically have is that the Almighty is somewhere else. The Almighty is in you. The Almighty is a part of you. The Almighty is one with you. Am I making any sense to anybody? Any help that shows up, I'm gonna share a powerful principle with you right quick. This is not in my notes. It's not, I didn't know consciously that I would go this route starting out. I normally do my announcements. Y'all know how I flow. But I want you to understand that you are going to manifest help in your life. You're going to manifest wealth and riches. You're going to manifest dynamic, loving relationships. You're going to manifest a wonderful career, a wonderful ministry, a wonderful spiritual ministry. All these things, you're manifesting it from the inside out. And so when these things show up in your life, I know when you meet the man or woman, as we say, of your dreams, and they walk up to you in a body, you think that they're external or just somehow not connected to you. No, they've always been connected, just not in your sphere of awareness. And when you created your desire and intention, they manifested. When you decided something by faith within that you wanted it, hear me, family, it manifests. It will eventually show up in the three-dimensional world, the fourth dimension. It comes from, of course, 4D or 5D, as people discuss today. I'll get into all those subjects with you at some point in time. But I want you to hear me real clearly. They are a manifestation of what you believe. They're a manifestation of your faith, negative or positive. So if you're attracting the worst of the worst, it's because there's a part of you, that dysfunctional, traumatic part, that is manifesting these incarnations of you. I'm saying this, I don't know why I'm saying this. Somebody must need this because this wasn't loaded in the chamber today. And as you start healing, number one and number two, as you started becoming more intentional about the kind of person you want, don't be afraid when they just emerge. Don't be shocked when they just show up, and show up in ways you didn't necessarily expect, or in a form that you didn't necessarily expect, but you believe that. You brought that into your life. We're going to get into mindset a little bit. We're still in this series that I'm almost done with. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I needed to make that deposit. Did that make any sense to anybody? Talk back to me, family. Did that make any sense to anybody? Let's see if I'm getting any likes and hearts. Did what I just say make any sense to anybody? Talk back to me. Talk back to me. Did what I just say make any sense to anybody? Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Again, who was I having this conversation with? Oh, I know who it was. Yes. So talking to a beautiful soul a few days ago about Job, and there's an evil, sinister spirit. And one of these days, I'm going to give y'all the breakdown of where a lot of this stuff comes from that y'all don't know, but I'm going to tell you one day. And I'm just going to say it like this. When he said the thing I feared the most has come upon me, he's trying to tell you that what is depicted in his reality came from within himself. Something partnered with him, in this case, considered to be Satan, sinister, or evil, to manifest his fears. People still manifest fears, or they still manifest what they don't fear. We're still doing it today, whether people tell you that or not. That is still happening right now. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I do want to ask you another question. The first question I want to ask you is, how y'all doing? How you doing today? Talk back to me. How are you today? How are you? How are you? How are you? How are you? How are you this particular day, whether you're watching live in replay? We always have a lot of people come in and replay later, and some of them participate in the chat. And if you come in later with this broadcast, I want to say thank you to you for showing up, even in replay. It's still powerful and prolific, but y'all talk to me. How we doing? Let's see here. Dusty said, doing great. Thanks. All right. Hillary says, tired. She's on YouTube. Therapist Cotton says, that's it. That's something else he's responding to. on YouTube. All right, let's see. Linda says, I'm doing well. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else want to share? Dare to share? Dare to share? Anybody else dare to share how they're doing today? Remember, it's all subjective. There's nothing judgmental about it. Watch out now. Making potato salad. I wonder what you put in that potato salad. Do you use mustard or mayo, Pastor Turk? I'm curious. People have different approaches, to their potato salad recipe. Do you use mayo or mustard? See, my Krista says I'm feeling good. Trina says good. Uh, Pastor Cotton says peaceful and empowered. And Vivian Thomas says good, just praying strength and direction. All right then. Awesomeness. Awesomeness. Let's see. Hillary says she's eating what? A Philly cheesesteak quesadilla with a big glass of water. Wow, 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 wow. It's early in the morning, but listen, you can eat whatever you want to eat whenever you get ready to eat it. Beautiful. Waiting on Pastor Turk to tell me if he used mayo. Let's see. As a foundation. Oh, he said he uses both and relish. Okay. Gotcha. Sounds good. Sounds delicious. Sounds delicious. What's in your cup, family? Talk to me. Talk to me. What's in your cup? What's in your cup today? Y'all talk to me. What's in your cup? I'm sipping on my usual coffee with some sweet, what is it? Sweet and creamy creamer, something like that is what I'm sipping on right now. What's in your cup, though? What's in your cup? Talk to me. What's in your cup? I have a fascination. Remember, there's no judgment here. Whatever you're drinking is what you're drinking. I just be curious about what you're drinking and sipping on. Pastor says he puts eggs in there. Yeah, eggs is definitely a staple in potato salad. If you make a potato salad without eggs, I don't even know if it's really potato salad, just being honest. Let's see. Our therapist, Jerry, says lemon water. All right. Linda Nelson says water. Uh-huh. Let's see what Pamela says. Coffee with English toffee. Ooh, sounds delightful to the palate. Anybody else want to share what's in your cup today, or even what you munching on right now, what you might be munching on right now as well? Anybody else? Let's see. Coffee with French vanilla creamer. Sounds delicious. One of my go-tos as well, the French vanilla creamer. I love that stuff. Anybody else want to share what's in your cup today? Anybody else want to share what's in your cup today? And while we're sharing what's in our cup on today, I just want to remind you all that we are on Patreon. Our community is growing every week. Make sure you visit us at patreon.com/AGGreenNow. And we're developing, sometimes it's a slow roll, but we're developing more and more content to post there consistently on some subjects that I want to discuss within our spiritual community. I'd like to remind you, don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe on social media. You can find me at AG Green Now on all of the various social media sites. Okay, let's see if I can see anything else here. Wonderful. We're going to begin get into the text today. Romans 8:28 is where we've been. Romans 8:28 is where we've been. A lot of things have happened since you and I have last gotten together in the world. There's a major seismic shift, multidimensionally, in my opinion, that's taking place in the world. And so it behooves us to stay in alignment with the Almighty, stay in alignment with our inner selves, so that we can be guided properly as to what we should do, how we should respond, how we will contribute, how we will exercise our influence, and of course, how we will show up in the world. That is of vital importance that we do this. I also want to share this. I'm in the process of forming my team, the AG Green Now team, which I'm in the process of forming that. And so if you desire to be on this team, make sure you communicate with me privately to let me know. And I've got various different assignments that I'll have for you in conjunction with what we do in the world, and expanding our outreach, so forth and so on. So what I'm doing right now, just share with you briefly, is writing vigorously, I'm doing a lot of writing in this season, and I'm going to continue to do that. Of course, that's who I am. A lot of studying, a lot of reading, a lot of meditating, and still here visiting my mom when I get back to Georgia. Then I'll do, I have businesses and other things I work on that helps with that area of my life. But my life is devoted to the evolution, transformation, and ascension of the species, which requires a lot of time, a lot of time. And so, what I do is not for my personal growth and development only. It is for the masses. It is for the world. And I'm looking for people to partner with me in terms of carrying out certain roles and functions to help me do that. So that's what that's all about. All right. All right. So we thank you. Let's see, my Chris put up Romans 8:28. This is the text we're going to be looking at for weeks now. Okay. Let me tell you what just popped up in my alert just popped up. I use these alerts. This alert says abundance is the only reality. This is how, through affirmations, I continue to condition myself to shift and embrace and take on um, higher versions of myself. Thought I'd just share that with you. This is how we helps incorporate the shift and change of mindsets. All right. Um, we're at part 6. Let me find it so I can put it up for you. Typically, you read the text. Matter of fact, let me put the text up and then I'll go there on the screen. Thank you. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. And so, do you know? Part 6 is what we've been discussing. This is part 6. I want you to type it in the comment section and personalize it. Do I know? You can say, do you know or do I know? You can type that in the comment section. Do you know or do I know? Type it in the comment section. You can type, do you know or do I know? This is what we have been discussing. This is part 6. This is part 6. It probably would be a part 7 because there's some other things I need to share with you concerning that. Almighty, we thank you for your guidance, your revelations of truth from the infinite recesses of your own mind. Let our acquisition and application of this wonderful knowledge create portals from dimension to dimension, from place to place, even within ourselves, that we might attain the highest forms that you've declared and decreed that we are, and walk and be in this world as you are, and have an impact on people everywhere. And we bless you and praise you in Yeshua's name, his way, his power, his consciousness. It is so. And so it is. Yes. Yes. The question is, do you know? The question is what you know. I'm going to get a chance to talk to my friend and brother, Pastor Turk here, hopefully the next week or so. But in our conversations, my inbox, and then in conversations I have with other people, you start discovering if you open yourself up to more possibilities, you start understanding and recognizing that what you know has been very limited. What you know has been very limited. Have you ever, on your journey in this life, started realizing that what you thought you knew, you didn't really know? Talk back to me. Has that ever happened to you before? What you thought you knew, you didn't really know? Well, let me tell you. Let me tell you. And when that happens, and it happens to me all the time, and it's continuing to happen to me daily because, again, I'm a researcher, so I'm going to continue to read and dig and so forth and so on. You'll be amazed at what you knew as truth, and you start realizing that it's been propped up by something else. And you start thinking, wow, I thought I knew that. I thought I understood that. I thought I had really, really had knowledge of that. And let me say this to you. One of the most powerful things you can do while you're living in this body, moving through this dimension and inhabiting time and space, because that's what we're doing right now. We're in just merely inhabiting time and space. And from a physical standpoint, we are occupying time and space. And again, I do believe that time is an illusion that we have uh, woven into our experience as reality. But yet, where we are is measurable and quantifiable in terms of physicality. Where we are spiritually cannot be defined, because you, as a spirit being, the energy that you really are, controls the body, but is not trapped or contained within the fabric of physical space time, within the fabric of the physical universe. There's a spiritual universe, there's a physical universe. Having said all that, um, there's a lot of times on this particular journey, we have moments where we are enlightened. We have moments where we discover things that we did not know about ourselves, certain laws and principles, divinity, the Almighty, religion, spirituality, just whatever the subject may be. So again, what you know is relative, number one. And that's why you have to expand your relativity by opening yourself up to possibilities. Wow, I just said a word there. When something is relative to you, it is relational to you in your psychological construct. When it's relative to you, it's related to you, it's familiar to you. It's familiar to you. Where we need to start opening ourselves up to, what we should start opening up ourselves up to, is the unfamiliar. I want you to type it in the comment section. The unfamiliar. The unfamiliar. Type it in the comment section. The unfamiliar. We need to open ourselves up to the unfamiliar. Now, as it relates to racial relations down through the years, and I can imagine that this is a testimony that exists on both sides. I just know from the side I exist in, this avatar body being beautiful brown skin. I've discovered that many races, white people, and I should say some of us as well, have altered their opinions about people when they were placed in a situation where they had to spend a significant amount of time with that race that they despised. And while they were spending time or in the company of that person or those persons, somewhere along the way, they opened themselves up to see what they could not see before, to receive what they could not receive before. So what was unfamiliar in terms of the human aspect, in terms of the niceties, in terms of the goodness in that particular race, in terms of the intelligence, in terms of the love, in terms of how wonderful they were, there was a barrier there that existed because they were not open to receiving it. They were not open to allowing that knowledge to grow as a seed, to produce another form of reality in truth, to say to them, just because they don't look like me or have the same shade as I am, doesn't mean they're inferior. But once they open themselves up to that experience, then it shifted them. So I want to say that there's a danger. There's a danger in living behind ideological, philosophical walls. and at least not saying, let me investigate, let me look into. You understand? Let me challenge, let me have conversations. Am I making any sense to anybody? Y'all talk back to me. Am I making any sense to anybody right now? If you don't open yourself up, then you're not going to be able to partake of what could be potentially life changing knowledge, life changing information, information that we gleaned in the form of knowledge that could radically alter your life, radically alter your existence. Am I making any sense to anybody? Am I making any sense to anybody? So having this knowledge and this understanding, and you're going to experience this on your spiritual journey. Now, you notice I'm doing a different introduction because I typically start with epistemology in my recap and how we learn, we discover knowledge and information, so forth and so on. I'm not going that route today. I'm going this route. There's got to be an openness that exists for you and for I. So I believe it's Colossians 3:2 that tells us to set our affections on things above and not on things on the earth. In order for you to partake of the things above, somebody put that text up, Colossians 3:2. In order for you and I to partake of things above, you've got to be open to things above. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it again. In order for you to partake of things above, things that exist in the realm above this, and really, I want you to understand that things above, really, from a purely spiritual, metaphysical definition, is not the place we call heaven. It's just a higher dimension than us, a higher dimension in terms of physicality. So things above refers to higher dimensions. Now, peer-reviewed science, from what I understand, I think 11, 12, however long ago it was, confirmed that the human brain has access to 11 dimensions. This is what they're saying now, starting to confirm in certain small pockets of the scientific world. Well, the spiritual community is not surprised. The spiritual philosophical community is not surprised because from their inner experiences with the Almighty, with God, and their inner experiences with themselves as a God class, it was revealed to them that there are other dimensions that exist outside of the avatar, physical, three-dimensional, this earth is terra firma, beyond that. Am I making any sense? So what science is starting to confirm, spiritual people, and even some form in religion has already told us these dimensions exist. Now, how they exist and what they look like, there are a myriad of opinions about that. But they do exist. And if you're going to operate in these dimensions and from these dimensions, you've got to open yourself up to it. I want you to type this word in the comment section, resistance. Type the word resistance in the comment section. Type the word resistance in the comment section. Type the word resistance in the comment section. We're talking from Romans 8:28, and I'm going to get that. Thank you, Ms. Pamela. I'm going to put yours up. Resistance. Resistance is a powerful term as it relates to your mental state, because when we are resisting something, we are opposing something. When we are resisting and opposing, we are not in alignment with it. We're not lined up with it. Romans 8:28 is a state of consciousness. It's a state of mind that becomes a state of being. So a state of consciousness is a state of being. If I'm operating in I like to use these illustrations because this is what a lot of people are challenged with. If I operate in a lack consciousness, then I'm showing up in the world with a lack state of being. So this consciousness and this state of being is reflecting in the world. It is transmitting and then reflecting, back to me. So let me say this to you. I don't care. Listen, you've heard a lot of stuff in your lifetime, but this principle is true. The world that we live in on a personal level, let me just start on a personal level, is a world that is reflecting you back to you. It is reflecting you. I want you to type it in the comment section. My world is reflecting me. Type that in the comment section. My world is reflecting me. I really, really, really want you to grasp and hear this principle. My world is reflecting me. It's reflecting me. So let me ask you a question today, a series of questions. I don't want an answer from you. I just want a series of questions. I just want to ask you a series of questions. I'm going to ask you stuff like, well, where do you live? I'm going to ask you stuff like, I'm going to ask you, what are you driving? What are you wearing today? What kind of toothpaste and toothbrush did you use today? What kind of clothes do you wear? What color of shoes do you prefer? What's in your refrigerator? What kind of foods are in your cabinets? What is your educational background in? Where do you work? Who is God? What does God think? What does God say? Where do you worship? Who are your family? Who are your friends? What kind of relationships do you have? How's your love life? How many bad relationships have you been in? How many good relationships have you been in? Now, the reason why I'm asking this series of questions is because, see, if you watch me long enough, I'm going to break that religious stronghold, because that's all it is. It's a religious stronghold. Because the average person who thrives in religious circles is going to basically tell you it's either God or what they call, or the devil, that's in other people that are responsible for most of the stuff that happens in your life. This is the mindset people have. But have you noticed that in every question that I ask you, number one, you're involved. And number two, whatever you're wearing, for example, is what you chose. Wherever you're living is where you chose to live. Whatever you're driving is what you chose to drive. Whatever you pursued in school is what you decided to pursue in school. What I want to understand is, if you're making all of these decisions, why do you keep attributing your failure or success to other entities, other beings, or other things? When, again, every choice that you make is reflecting back to you. So you're watching me on a device you chose to buy. Now, you may have been led to the sale, but you still made the decision to buy it. The next thing is you still allowed yourself, if you were led to find a device on sale, you allowed yourself to be led to find that device on sale. So now what I want you to really, really understand is that there is more co-creation of your own reality that's taking place than what you have given yourself credit for. And some of you all said, well, I only took this job because I had to take it. See, that was your mindset that somehow, some way put you in a position to think, well, I got to take this just to survive. So now you're on the job just miserable, surviving, thinking that this is your only, course of action. There's nothing keeping you on that job but you. And you might say, well, I tried in the past and it just didn't work out and I keep failing and doors keep closing. So again, if you keep thinking that this is your reality, you will continue to reflect this. You will continue to manifest this. Sow this seed into the world, and it's going to come back to you looking just like you said. In your mind, looking just like your core beliefs have depicted, have dictated to you. That's a better word, dictated to you. Family, do you see this? And then again, we are audacious because we're superstitious. It's reflecting back to me according to what I think, but we're putting it on an enemy. And yes, the negativity that comes to your mind, let me explain this to you. All negativity that comes to your mind is not from an evil source. It's you. It's an old you with a poor programming that resists and fights any new thoughts, any new desires to be something different. The old part of you fights it. A lot of times it's gripped and filled. It's a stronghold of trauma, dysfunction, poor self-esteem, poor self-concept, self-hate, self-loathing. Am I making any sense? That is the thing that's speaking negatively as a part of your inner voice to you when you're trying to make a shift and a change. It ain't nothing outside you. It's inside of you. And you can't be attributing it to evil because it's you. I'll give you an example. I'm going to give you an example. How we can be convicted and condemned by our own ideologies. If somebody told you, and this is hypothetical, I'm just using this as an example. If have you ever had, okay, let me rephrase it like this. Have you ever heard so much negativity about a person? So much stuff about a person that when you finally felt met that person, you felt kind of strange. You felt like, on one end of the spectrum with some people, and I want to talk about the main end of the spectrum that completes my example, that makes my example validated. You've got all these negative opinions. So when you meet them emotionally, you're not feeling the best. Sometimes the handshake is cold. You might give them a genuine smile, but behind that smile, you're like, yeah, this rat, this no good joker. I heard a lot about him. And you just feel like, they're bad sometimes. You just feel like there's something wrong with that person. You just feel like there's something off. Some of y'all, you even go deeper. The Lord showed me it's a spirit in that person. So-and-so is just all of this because of what you were fed. And then you have a conversation with them. And then you get to know them. And you start saying, I'm not having this experience at all with this person. I've been knowing them now for 6 months, and I've never seen anything anybody has ever said about this person. I mean, nobody's perfect, but they're nothing near what I was told. And from your own experiences, you open up to now judge them based on the merits of their own behavior in relating to you. And then your opinion changes. Now, so I'm going to ask you the question. What made you feel strange and off and funny and throwing God in the mix and the enemy in the mix, all this other kind of stuff when you first met them? What made you feel the way you felt? What made you feel the way you felt was because of what you believed. And belief, hear me, triggers and fires up the central nervous system. Portions of those portions of the brain light up and send all kinds of signals and messages throughout the body. And you got alarms, 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 alarms going off for no reason. You honestly believe what had been fed to you about that person, and you felt it. Watch this. And that was your reality in the moment. You generated it and you created it. Watch this, based on false information. Whew, wow. And the whole time, it wasn't the truth. It wasn't the ultimate truth. Watch this. In the moment, it was your truth. And so listen to me. You produced the reality all the way down to the cellular level in your body that this person was an enemy, that this person was trifling, that this person could not be trusted, that this person needed to be avoided, that this just wasn't a good person. You produced that reality. I want you to hear me. So your state of mind generates your state of consciousness, and it's from within. So all that negative stuff you heard from other people, when you got in their presence, you had adopted some of that. So you added it to your core beliefs in the moment. And so now your voice starts spewing out things to you while you're in their presence about what kind of person that they are. And in that moment, until you open yourself up to see another reality, to embrace another reality, that was your reality. Wow. Am I making any sense to anybody right now? We're still at Romans 8:28. I'm trying to set you up for a couple of things. So I want you to see, I want you to understand, I want you to recognize, I want you to know that what you know, I do. And remember, know is past tense. Wow. When he says, and we know, and we perceive with the eyes or the senses to discern and to discover, is past tense. So this is again what I want to connect with what I'm discussing with you today. What you see in your present world, what I'm seeing in my present world, I had to learn this, is from past tense thinking. Paul can't know all things work together. He can't know all things. And I've discussed the word work and together. We'll peruse right through it in a few minutes. But again, he can't really know that to apply it to all spectrums of his life, present and moving forward into what we call the future, if he doesn't know in past tense. Have you ever been in a situation and you said, well, this is what you said. I'm getting ready to meet somebody, said, well, how do you think it's going to go? I don't know yet. I really don't know. I'm going to have to see. In your mind, hear me, and you do have the ability to know in advance. But when you're thinking from a limited conscious state of mind, you'll say, well, I'm not sure, it could go either way. It could go either way. I don't even want to get into the go either way stuff. I don't even talk like that anymore. But I'm just saying, it's a past tense thing. So what you know is what you're living today. I'm going to say it again. What you know is what you're living today. Am I making any sense? So if you know, this is the point I need to finish. If you know resistance, I had you to type the word resistance, and I'm glad you typed it. See, installed, incorporated, infused in all limited thinking is resistance. When we have this resistance, we won't open up. What creates resistance? Well, there are all kinds of things that deposited resistance in us. And don't think it's just, hear me, folk are talking about it's your nature to be, no, I'm not believing some of that stuff no more. I don't believe that stuff no more. You are conditioned to believe the way you believe. So watch this. If you grew up, in a situation and you were around a lot of shady people, a lot of distrustful people in your childhood, and as you start growing up, you start realizing they're shady and can't be trusted. As you start entering adulthood and you start bringing more people, reflecting more people in your world that's shady and can't be trusted, do you understand and realize that when something good shows up in your world, you're going to resist it? Do you understand that? You're going to resist it, family, because resistance is now a part of your journey. Resistance now is a part of your core belief. In other words, you are projecting onto the world that I've got to live a life that's filled with shady, questionable people. I've got to live a life that's going to be filled with folks who are going to try to destroy me. I got to live a life that's filled with people who are going to run me over. I've got to, live a life. This is what you're thinking. That's going to be filled with situations where most people are not trustworthy. So some of y'all looking for love and you've been burned, and I get being burned. Then something really genuine will pop up in your world and you'll be highly skeptical of it. You're resisting it because you don't know really what good is. You've seen good, but you don't think good is possible for you. Wow, wow, wow. I hope somebody's hearing me. Some of y'all talk about wanting unconditional love, but you don't really know what it looks like coming from another person. Some of y'all talking about being, really, really there for people or ride or die, but you don't know what that's like coming from another person because you've seldom had anybody in your life that was like that. So the first time it pops up, it looks like the antitype. It looks like the enemy. Wow. I just said a word there. It is possible for God to look like the enemy. It is possible for the manifestation of your best desires to look like your enemy when you first see it. When Yeshua was walking on the water, before they could see him, they said it's a ghost. They didn't know what he looked like. He looked like the enemy, and their fears, innate fears, made them think that it was something of an omen to just confirm that their tossing about in this storm was going to lead to destruction. I'm going to say it again. It is possible for good and great and love and all these other things to show up in your life and you think it's the enemy. Wow. Am I making any sense to anybody? Y'all quiet on here. I see people jumping on and off too. That's kind of normal. Y'all kind of quiet right now. Am I on somebody's row? Your bells will go off and whistle just like when that stuff was put in you about that person. You'll see good and say, what is he trying to do? What is she trying to do? You don't realize it's an answer. Hear me, to the deepest good desires. The prayers you've been praying, the things you really want, you don't realize in the moment, bam, there it is. But because you're not used to that, you're saying, what is this? You're saying, I feel kind of uncomfortable. I feel kind of strange. You're feeling uncomfortable and strange because you're not used to seeing the purity of something that wants nothing else from you, showing up to be there for you because your mindset has been conditioned to live with a form of resistance that this don't happen. When it shows it, when I'm looking for love, it's got to be rough and tough. When I'm looking for support, there's got to be an ulterior motive behind it, because nobody does anything for you for nothing. Wow. I must be talking on somebody's roll this morning. Paul said, and we know all things work together. All things synergistically, are working in collaboration and in concert together. But hear me, family, if your mindset is not to know the upside, you'll know the downside. If your mindset is not to know the light side of the force, you'll know the dark side of the force. If your mindset is not to know the highest expressions of the Almighty, then you'll know the physically interpreted carnal expressions of the Almighty. If your God is a God that's always looking to destroy you and send lightning bolts and mess up your life, and he lets the devil just run amok in your life, hear me, family, then this is the kind of life you're going to live. This is the kind of reality you're going to manifest, where sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad, and sometimes he's for me and sometimes he's against me, and sometimes he saved me and other times he wants to kill me. No, you got to know that all things, you got to know, according to Isaiah, that he has, Jeremiah, excuse me, he has good intentions, good thoughts toward you at all times. So again, what you know is reflecting back to you. And listen, when I came into this knowledge of this revelation, that I just couldn't continue to put it on other things and other beings. Woo, sobering reality. Sobering reality. Oh Lord. The beautiful part is that everything I'm saying to you can be undone. It can be shifted. It can be changed. I'm just trying to help you to see that your beliefs, good and bad, if that's what you know, then that's what you live. And let me say this, take it a little deeper. I know this is going to be a little testy and touchy, but I'm going to say it because I harp on this a lot. Your concept of the Almighty and your concept of yourself is reflecting back to you. It is reflecting back to you. And again, we don't realize, well, we do realize it, sometimes we're just not willing to acknowledge it and own it, that we've got parts of ourselves that's unrefined. They're dark. We got parts of ourselves. I got a grown crowd here. And there's nothing wrong with what I'm getting ready to say. That's a part of you that wants to get naked and stay naked. There's a part of you that wants to be maybe naked at the wrong times. Don't put that on somebody else. That's you. Am I making any sense? There's parts of all of us that might be it's definitely myself, that was incredibly super negative at one time, pessimistic and suicidal and emotional. You can't put that on somebody else. That's you. And when it starts reflecting back to you in your world, you've been conditioned to form a concept to define, oh, this is what this is. This is evil. This is something trying to do. No, it's you. It's coming out of the depths of you. This is what you know. This is what you know. Help me, Holy Spirit. This is what you know. And you are living what you know. Now, my father used to have a powerful statement. He says, I'm a firm believer that people would do better if they knew better. He said, people would do better if they were taught better. Well, that's a powerful principle. Because if you're taught better and you accept what's taught, then that's the way that you do better. But if you don't know better, you can't do better. Because what you know, again, is on display in your life. For example, you can't change a tire if you don't know how to. You can't treat a man like a king if you don't know how to. A man can't treat a woman like a queen if he don't know how to. You can't access the mind of God if you don't know how to. You can't step out of religiosity into pure spirituality if you don't know how to. You can't manifest wealth and riches if you don't know how to. We did a series of, bringing special guests on, and I appreciate y'all supporting it. National Minority Health, I believe it was Mental Health Month, and like Jerry Cotton, who's a therapist, is on YouTube. He was one of our guests, and it was great. It was profound. It was powerful. And so, what I showed you, what I want to show you, what I always want to show you initially are the practical steps, how you can use from within yourself, self-help, helping yourself, putting yourself in a certain position to make certain decisions, and then, when necessary, seek out professional counseling. All right. But now there's an emergence of information where people are learning how to not use those rudimentary, fundamental counseling, psychological concepts to tap into something that's quantum or spiritual. I didn't even get into that, and I'll get into that at some other point in time, because I want people to learn how to look within themselves and confront things. But now there's a move on that's showing people how to shift versions of themselves, where person A is filled with trauma and this, that, and the other, and they're showing them techniques how to move to person B, which is still them, that has none of that. And when people accurately shift to that version of themselves, the stuff they felt before, they no longer feel. You say, well, how they do that? Because you're a powerful spiritual species who can do that. But you can't, again, you won't be able to, even though you can, if you don't know you can. And if you don't know, it's even possible. Did I just say something? Did I just say something? I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Let me put this up on the screen. The great Wayne Dyer transition a few years back, great spiritual teacher, says, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. I'm going to say it again. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Wow. And really, even from biblical texts, what faith really is, family, is what Paul is describing from experience mixed in with a large amount of faith in Romans 8:28. When he says, and we know, and I know, that all things work together for the good. All things. To them that love God. To them that love the Almighty. Now, let me say this. Thank you, Pastor Turk. If your perception is that I gotta struggle all the time, then guess what's going to constantly show up in your world? If your perception is, well, if it ain't one thing, it's another, well, guess what's going to show up in your world? If your perception is, it work out sometime, but it don't work out all the time, then guess what's going to show up in your world? If your perception is every time something doesn't work out, well, I guess just it wasn't meant to work out, then you're going to always run into situations that you want and desire and crave from the depths of your heart that just won't work out. Hear me. Hear me. I want you to understand what Dr. Dyer is saying. This was proven again in the double slit experiment, how on a quantum level, those subatomic particles adjusted to being observed by this specific device that could see them. They adjusted from shifting from a wave to a particle. What I want you to understand is Paul, on a deeper metaphysical level, is trying to tell you, you got to see and know and perceive in your heart, no matter what, that is all working together for my good. And he's saying it's working together because of my love for the Almighty. He's saying it's working together because of my relationship with God. Well, again, Paul is considering and thinking, Pastor Turk, that everybody know, but everybody don't know. That's what I'm telling you now. What I'm saying to you today, there are folk who've been living for God all their life, or so to speak, and they don't know. Now, let me get into the word good right quick. Good, Greek word akathos. One of the definitions of it is benefit or beneficial. I want to say this, and I'm going to prepare to close, family. If I'm looking at a thing and believing in my heart, family, that my partnership with the Almighty in this universe that has been created for me, family, is making sure that everything is working out for my good. If I believe this from the depths of my being, family, then it's got to happen. I'm going to say it again. It's got to happen. When you learn how to focus, and again, we quote from him, if you believe it, it will work out. You'll see opportunities. If you believe it won't, you'll see obstacles. The reason why I just don't like to quote from biblical texts and other texts, I like to quote from successful people, because these are people in our lifetime who are using these spiritual principles and they have succeeded at the highest levels. Listen to what Linda Humphreys, PhD, says. Perception molds, shapes, and influences our experiences of our personal reality. End quote. You and I got to know what Paul knew. Paul had cultivated and shaped within himself a core belief that is all working together for my good, for my benefit. So here we go, family. Type in the comment section. Here we go. Type it in the comment section. Here we go. I want you to type in the comment section. Here we go. I feel that in my shana enough. Type it in the comment section. Here we go. Here we go. I got to emphasize something. So if I embrace this core belief, and again, I'm going to say this to you, going back to David, Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd. He says, I shall not lack. Listen to me. And Pastor Turk is a scholar of sorts in his own right. Why would David say that? And there was a bunch of poor people living around him who said they believed in the same God he believed in. Have you thought about that? How many folk do you know who have a testimony, I'm saved and sanctified, and there's lack in their lives? I personally, again, have altered my reality to think, to convince myself, I'm just telling you, I don't believe in lack no more. But there's a lot of people who do. But why is it that there's a lot of people around him who don't seem to have the basic necessities of life? And yes, they did whenever that was written by whoever was written by, even if it wasn't him. It existed. And I'm asking you the question, how many struggling saints do you know? How many struggling people with a testimony do you know? How many people have lost their homes and cars that you know? And they spoke in tongues and fasted and prayed all the time and, live what the folks say, a holy life, testified, been saved all day. No evil have I done, sanctified and holy, no evil have I done. Eviction notice, gave in every seed offering, car repossession, marriages tore up. Look at the likes and hearts. Y'all know many. I know many. But that's not what David said. He said he don't lack. Well, is it possible? Is it very possible that that was David's core belief that he took on to share with everybody else? That from what my core belief says, Yah is my shepherd, and I will never, ever, ever, ever lack anything. As I said to you before, that is a state of consciousness. So, in other words, hear me, when the checking account gets down to $10, $15, David's mindset would be, but I don't lack. Hear me. Apparently, he developed his inner man to the point where he just decided, I don't believe in lack for me because of my relationship with the divine. And I'm saying to you, like Paul is saying, like David said, and like Paul said, you got to know within your heart that it always works. And you can't allow people to be speaking crap and junk to you. Well, see, it's getting low. See, it ain't gonna work. I said, I told you, you need to do it just like I want you to do it. Did you hear what I said? I'm just repeating to you. David said, I don't lack, while other folk around him was living in lack. Same thing with Paul. All things working together, and folks around here are thinking this is a bunch of chaos. This ain't working out. So how is it that somebody can think I cannot lack, another person can think that it all works together, when we see people apparently living in some form of manifested lack, and it seems like they're going to hell in a handbasket, or the bottom has dropped out of their lives? Why? What's the difference between them and those other category of people that I just told you? They had a certain knowledge that created an inner reality that says, I don't ever lack. That says it's always working together for good. I want you to type good in the comment section. Type the word good, and I'm going to shut it down. Give me a few more minutes. Type the word good. Type the word good in the comment section. Can I tell you something? When you believe that it's all working together for your good, understand that good has a multifold definition. Are you ready? So some of y'all think that good is just, it's just extra money. Some of y'all think that, good is just extra, a better job. Some of y'all think that, good is just my tuition got paid, or good is that item was on sale and I was able to get it. Some of y'all think good is just, I'm able to get this new car. No. Let me show you another example of good. You're in a situation and you love the very ground a person walks on. And you've done all you know to do to be the kind of person they deserve you to be. And all of a sudden, you start saying, I deserve better. And you start saying to God and start praying within yourself and start visualizing yourself in a situation where you have everything, the total package of love, supply, fulfillment, happiness, satisfaction, spiritual connection, all of that. And then you wake up one day and you start seeing the seams of that relationship starting to sever, starting to come apart. And then you're trying to suture it, you're trying to fix it, you're doing everything you can. Sometimes you got children with these folk, or you invested in businesses with these folk, and then time goes by and it keeps getting worse, and other stuff starts coming in, and then some of y'all have dealt with all kinds of stuff, hostile situations, infidelity. You've just dealt with a lot of stuff. And you're trying to fix it, trying to fix it, trying to fix it, trying to fix it. And then you get to the point where it's over and you're crying and bawling your eyes out. And you're depressed for months, some folk years. Some folk went on medications. They needed counseling. Some folks just cut all their hair off. It's just your reaction with shame and embarrassment and hurt. Can I tell you something? That worked out for your good. Folk on the outside looking in, and even you were saying, oh, this is bad. This is bad. This is terrible. This is terrible. I know what that's like. Oh, it hurts. There's a hurt. Listen, I've had inner hurts. I've been, you know my story about the physical situations, but I've had such deep pain in my heart. It's indescribable. Howling like a wounded animal. I know the depths of that kind of despair. I know what it's like to want to die, kill yourself. Think about it. Put the stuff out to do it. Can I tell you that what happened to you in it breaking up and breaking apart was good? Some of you would never have known who you really were with that person. I had one of my dearest loved ones say to me recently, one of my dearest loved ones came to visit me, and she said, she's elderly, she said, in dealing with a bad relationship, she got to the point, she said, she didn't know who she was. She had forgotten about the real her. In her adapting to the viciousness and the hostility and the domineering and the dominance of her partner. She's gone through therapy and other things. And she told that partner that she's still with, and you never have seen the real me because you wouldn't let me be the real me. So I'm saying to some of you all today, good is dressed up in different clothes. Good wears different kinds of glasses or no glasses. Good don't always wear the same kind of shoes. When a relationship like that in your life, not just romantic, but even with free, some of y'all know what it's like to be yoked up with toxic family and toxic friends, and then that relationship just disintegrates and you're lamenting it and mourning it. Let me tell you something. Because you didn't respond always properly, you were letting them drag you down. It's good for you if somebody who's not going to contribute to your peace and not going to respond to your love and your kindness and your efforts to help them falls away from you. That's that thing working out for your good. So what you needed to realize is that you prayed a prayer and created an image that manifested the outcome of that thing coming apart at the seams that ultimately was good. I feel something. I feel the presence now. Hallelujah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Some of you all are so, I'm just going to put it out there because y'all know I just like to be direct. This is male and female that I'm talking to from a pure place of love. Some of you all are currently manifesting because of good that disconnected you from deteriorating, gangrene, rotting situations. You are manifesting from within first a success, an abundance, hear me, of peace, joy, self-realization, self-love, powerful expansion in your belief and concept of God, and you're manifesting successful careers, newly successful relationships where there is plenty of love, an abundance of love, an abundance of pleasure, an abundance of reciprocation, an abundance of fulfillment, an abundance of satisfaction, all because good showed up and ripped you away from something just to answer your prayer. It ripped you away from something just to manifest you becoming this version that you've already always seen yourself as. Good showed up just to rescue you and say, I'm here to partner with you to bring into existence the kind of life you really deserve. Woo-hoo! Wow. I got a tear forming in the left corner of my eye for y'all. I want you to type it in the comments section. My best life is manifesting now. Now, retype that. Type that. My best life is unfolding now. Type that in the comment section. My best life is unfolding now. Type it in the comment section. My best life is unfolding now. Ooh, my God, I feel the presence moving through me. Mm, 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 mm. Hallelujah. Thank you, Almighty God. Am I the only one that's feeling this right now? While you're typing, my best life is unfolding now. I feel that thing. And hear me, I'm like David and I'm like Paul. I'm not determined to know anything else but that. I'm determined, to not know anything else from that. And I'm determined to only know that. And I'm determined to only believe that. Now say it out loud 3 times with me. 1, 2, 3. My best life is unfolding now. My best life is unfolding now. Number 3, my best life is unfolding now. Woo! Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? You ought to throw your hands up and thank God wherever you are. You ought to throw your hands up and praise with gratitude wherever you are. Your best life. Can I get a few Pauls here who know that their best life is unfolding now? Meaning it's working for your good. That's got to be your best life. If it's working for your good, then your best life is unfolding right now. Some of you looked at your money before you came on. It's unfolding. Your best finances are unfolding now. Some of you said, I want to go back to school. That's unfolding now. Some of you said, I got a vision to just help more people and be involved. It's unfolding now. Some of you said, you know, I want to have some work done. I know I'm going to a different place because everybody got all kinds of desires. Some of y'all might want to have some surgery done and you can't afford it. I'm telling you now, your best life is unfolding now. Some of you said, I want to change my style. I need to redo my wardrobe and it's going to cost me $1,000. Let me tell you something. Your best life is unfolding now. I sense that so strong, family. It is unfolding now. Believe that. Know that. Embody that. Walk in that. Let that energy surge through you. Let this mindset dominate you. Let this focus be your main focus, that my best life is unfolding now. Paul said it's working for the good. That means good is an ally. However it shows up, good is an ally. And when things happen now, I've learned to see where good is said, hey, it's me. I'm here. Hey, my, 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 my. My. I'm saying to you right now that your best life is unfolding now. So you know what that means? Forget the old life with the old you. Forget the old life with the old them. Come on now. Forget the old opinions and the old assessments and the old false reports and evil reports about you. Your best life is unfolding now. As I'm speaking to you, the best is unfolding. Good is unfolding. Good is working, building with you, going ahead of you, negotiating for you, working in and out of situations just for you. It's working now. So release what we say is the past. Release bitterness. Release unforgiveness. Release yourself from this vicious cyclical pattern of up and down and in and out. Release yourself and open yourself up to know that your best life is unfolding now. Some of y'all getting ready to travel. You know I likes to get down with you, y'all family. You're getting ready to travel. I wish I was private because I would say some more things, but you're getting ready to travel like you never traveled before. You're getting ready to enjoy what you do for a living like you have never done before. You're getting ready to experience love and romance like you never had before. Loyalty and dedication and commitment like you never had before. You're getting ready to help people in ways you truly desire to help them. Some of y'all right now are thinking, if I had the money, I'd pay this bill and that bill for other people. Listen, you're getting ready to be, it's unfolding now. Your best life, where you are doing that. Where you are helping, where you want to help. You are serving in ministry, where you want to serve and minister. Oh my God. I sense this so strong here on today. Almighty, I thank you that our best life is unfolding now because all things are working together in synergy for the good. And I just bless you for every soul who viewed and heard. Their hearts are open to receive. And even as of now, before the end of this calendar day, good is manifesting in tangible forms, in the form of activities for them. And I bless you. Hallelujah. In Yeshua's name, it is so. And so it is. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes. I sense this. I sense this so strongly. Family, I sense it. It is. It is your best life. And it is unfolding right now. This is your moment of joy. This is your moment of exuberance. Feel this moment. And matter of fact, revisit and remind yourself every day of this feeling of knowing that your best life is unfolding now. So watch this. If Monday come along and the next day and the bills come and you start thinking about them bills, just say to your bills, my best life is unfolding now. If people come to you and say, we need this, we need that, you got to have this done, you got to have that done, say to yourself and say out loud, my best life is unfolding now. When you start experiencing a little heartache, maybe late at night or throughout the day, reminiscing some of that old stuff trying to come back to you, I want you to just speak, my best life is unfolding now. This is what you know. This is what you add to what you know. My best life is unfolding now. As usual, at the bottom of the screen are your opportunities to donate. $AG Green, $AG Green now. The number for Zelle and, of course, Chime. Thank you. I know that you're going to give as you're blessed to give. And I am super, super excited for you. How do you feel about the word today? How do you feel about the word today? I love what you said, Charlotte. Charlotte says, Lord, I release any and everything that's holding me back. That's powerful because the things that hold us back, whatever they are forms of resistance. This is powerful, powerful, Charlotte. We all are required to release everything that's been holding us back. And Almighty, I pray that in the days ahead, that Charlotte, that you would guide her, that you would show her from a purely spiritual place the things that have been holding her back. Wow. Let it be revealed to her so that she can shift into that version of her without those things. And I bless you. I magnify you. It is so. And so it is. Let's see. Thank you, Linda. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all good? You feeling better? Y'all feeling better? I hope so. You should be. I'm excited for you. I'm extremely excited about you. And I know that's it. Embrace change. Embrace change. Trust me, change for some of us, I name myself in that, still learning to just embrace change. I'm still learning to embrace it. And sometimes we don't want to let go of things because of the fear of it not being better for us. But this message encourages me, as I wanted to encourage everybody, that it's unfolding perfectly. It's already You're letting this principle work, and you're going to come back and testify. When you develop this mindset that is working out for your good, that means it's unfolding. It's the way it's unfolding for you. When you adopt this, my best life is unfolding now, and you live like that every day, the great stuff that you're going to start amassing. And I'm not just talking about physical things. It's going to blow, as we say, your mind. Wow. This is awesome. Love you and appreciate you so dearly. I'm going to release you with the shalom blessing. And again, the giving, donating opportunities at the bottom of the screen. I don't think I have any other announcements to share with you. I release you today with the shalom blessing. Shalom, shalom, peace, wholeness, prosperity, nothing missing and nothing broken. It is so. And so it is. Enjoy the rest of your day. And remember, it's working out for your good. Therefore, my best life is unfolding now.